So, cleaning the chicken a little bit, just a little bit, because I mean, they like little tenderloins, so you really don't have much cleaning to do for them. Got my seasonings ready, and I got some oil, some vegetable oil. I usually fry in olive oil, but I decided to go with the oil. Got that ready. Gonna heat that up, season the chicken real good, and then I'm not gonna season it so much because the breading is already seasoned. Seasoned frying mix. Chicken seasoned frying mix. House archery. So I was just thinking, y'all, right? We call it washing chicken, but really we just sticking chicken in water. And some people clean their chicken with vinegar and lemon, right? But I was thinking, if, what good is that doing if the oil and frying the cooking, the heat is killing off the bacteria? I mean, especially for something like tenderloins. With tenderloins, you're pretty much, if you want to cut off the little white parts, you can. Like, if you want to cut off the little white part and stuff like that. But these things be really ready to take out the heck and really season and stick them in the grease. But I mean, most black households teach you to put that thing in water, put them in water, and some people, clean theirs with, like I said, vinegar and lemon. But they're really ready to just season and batter up because the heat from the oil kills off the bacteria. At least that's what the internet say. But maybe we ain't supposed to be eating meat anyway. That's what some people say. But to each is their own. To each is their own. Subscribers, your video is ready. Hello, LGBTQ plus DL man, woman who secretly love us and support us. And if you don't identify with any of those labels, you're still free to subscribe to the channel. And that's all. Maybe having a little lamb and the three little foxes. Anyway, we get into like a little quick little mukbang, and I thought I have on press on nails from someone that I am collabing with, and hopefully, I will be having ownership of some press-on nails for this YouTube channel. So subscribe if you're looking forward to wearing some press-on nails. And there are shorter nails. I talked to one of my best friends for a very long time, and she is a short nail wearer, so there are shorter nails than these. But anyway, I have chicken tenders and some fries. Y'all see me already munching because they good as hell. And to drink, I got this like earlier today, but can't go wrong with a Sonic peach tea and some peach crown and that thing. And also, I have some Polynesia sauce, and that's on me having a little lamb and three little foxes. My goodness. If you're new to my channel, you may know that I am, well, first off, my name is Kevin. Okay, now hold the fuck up, because why is this fry just stuck in between? Hold on. Okay, I got it. My name is Kevin. I identify as a medium. And I thought that this mukbang was important. I was hearing strategically important. I thought that this mukbang was important to make because I felt like I needed to express to some people who hadn't seen me in a couple years and wondered where I had been and things like that. And I had a lot of friends that asked, or said, "Oh, Kevin, I was looking for you." They was like, "I was looking for you. I love you. I miss you." And even my cousin was like, like, "Damn, nigga, like, you just cut everybody off. Like, you even cut me off." And I was like, "Damn, not my cousin cut me off." And you know what? I wouldn't say it was like that. So I was actually gonna ask y'all, got the Chick-fil-A sauce or the Polynesian sauce? Which one you think? We're gonna go with the Polynesian because this is more fresh than that one. I also got some hot sauce. I know y'all seen that because I had moved it to the side a little bit. Yes, y'all. Let me get boozed up a little bit. Let me see. Hopefully this thing open. Hell no. Damn. I should have waited. Before I put the nails on. So, I gotta film. There we go. Y'all know y'all love that Polynesian. Girl, I love a Polynesian sauce. Not that just a Polynesian, but the Polynesian sauce. Girl, I had fried this stuff. This is good. So, I've already posted videos talking about this, but I thought that it was more important to give this thing a video of its own. When most people last saw me on social media, I was going through a separation from my most recent partner. A lot of you know his name, and out of respect for him and myself, I think that it's just best that I don't really have to say his name, although I can, because I've healed since that, and a lot of people, especially people in my family, thought that I was upset about the breakup, and I think that I think that for me, um, realizing that I had a experience with the divine, it kind of just like my healing was fast. But here's the thing. I'm titling the video, um, oh, excuse me, How I Awaken Spiritually. And I said that I was a medium starting the video, but the way that I truly awakened is that I realized I was a twin flame. Now, bitch, how the things they live. I talk about being a twin flame a lot on my YouTube channel, and because most of you that are watching this video that probably are just, I've been saying the word inquisitive a lot, but probably just wanting to know, what had happened. I first have to explain sort of what a twin flame is. A twin flame is known to be a person that you are on a soul journey with, that you actually share your soul. It's not like a soulmate, and that's what I do want to say, because a lot of people get it confused with a soulmate. But the idea of a twin flame is that one soul was split into two bodies, one representing the feminine energy, the divine feminine energy, and one representing the divine masculine energy. And so I met someone while I was with my ex, who many of y'all are aware who that was. And when I met this person, it awakened me spiritually, which is the purpose of this journey, is to awaken each other spiritually. Mainly the divine feminine awakens before the divine masculine. But anyway, when I awakened to this journey, and how many people awaken to spirituality, is they often look crazy. It often can seem that spiritual people, when they awaken, that they look crazy. And when I say look crazy, I mean that people that are used to seeing people a certain way, when they awaken to spirituality, it changes them in a way that makes them seem not themselves, even though they are aligning with their true self. So anyway, a lot of people saw me maybe in 2021 and 2022 not being verbal with them. I had lost weight from being 250 something pounds, 252 pounds, to 138 pounds when I went to jail. So that was a whole it was a whole lot. And so now you're seeing a more solid version of myself. And when I say solid, like, I mean sure of myself. A more sure version of myself. Like, oh, like, I got my shit together. I know who I am now. Like, that type of version of myself. And it's not that I am not the spiritual version of myself. It is not that I am not the aware version of myself. I went to jail in the year of 2020, and I went to jail in the year of 2021. This video will be more focused on my nonverbalness with people, And like my break from the social interactions and the internet. I I quit my job in well my jobs plural in 2019 because I was receiving signs to do so. And many people were used to seeing the Kevin that they know working, having a job, having a car, um, upkeeping himself very well. And so this version of a person that I guess you can say thought I had to be, um, for people seeing me that way, it was weird for them to see me that way. And anyway, after I awakened spiritually, there were gifts that I realized that I had, and I had to hone those gifts. I had to understand how to use them. But before I could even understand how to use them, people were trying to understand where I what was going on, but I didn't feel like I could tell them or yeah, I didn't feel like I could tell them what was going on. I didn't know how to tell them without feeling like I was sharing too much of the universe. Because when you become or realize that you are a chosen being, you realize that you can be chosen to hold secrets of the universe. And to keep from oversharing things about the universe, because as a chosen being you can also receive karma for telling too much about the universe when a person isn't ready to receive the information. That's what I have been told. I'm not sure how true. I heard 100% true. I'm not yeah, so anyway, when I realized that I was receiving so many secrets of the universe and I was receiving these um, messages from the universe, there was a specific message. Um, so I was with my twin flame. And before I get into really talking about that, I want to say that the twin flame journey, because I said that it is considered one soul that is split into two bodies. And so you come into this human experience meant to experience kind of like your soul journey together. And it's a soul journey. It isn't, it's what I understand now is that I know that it is true for me and my soul partner, whether he knows that it is true or whether he believes in it, it doesn't have to be true for him. I just know that it's true for me. Um, After I attempted to um, kind of like awaken him to the journey, um, he rejected the idea of us being twin flames, which can be normal for some twin flames. The divine masculine is often known to run from the connection, and then the divine feminine realizes that the journey is more about aligning with the soul, the aligning with the journey of the soul rather than the 3D connection. But anyway, some of you may not understand that, and that's okay. It's not meant for you to understand. The beings that understand will understand. Um, Basically, I stayed with him after I stayed with a friend that I used to work with. And this became like a best friend, like a brother. It was nothing sexual, nothing intimate. Um, so I was dibbling and dabbling in tarot cards, and a lot of people thought, oh, there's been some voodoo with all. It wasn't nothing like that. Um, I was doing tarot, and I was like, this how I'm gonna make money and stuff like that. And there were only so many people that believed in my ability to connect with the divine. So when I was staying with my friend, we ended up getting evicted out of his place, child. I have to speak on the fact that many people that knew that I was with my ex, they were kind of just like, what happened? And things like that. Oh, hold on. I said I wasn't going to really speak on that because I think I spoke on it in another video. But knowing that, Spirit telling me not to. Or maybe I need to specify on the video. Anyway. No, it's all good show. So, I realized that after I realized that I was a twin flame, and basically, I realized that with this twin flame journey, it's called twin flame for a reason because your soul is said to be the same soul versus a soulmate that is two souls coming together being mates. This one soul is kind of is a one soul is split into two people. So it is the identical soul. Twin. Identical. So the soul is a mirror of itself. So the soul has the same journey, right? When I met this person and I realized that in every lifetime that I live, I experienced I experienced the remembrance of my soul, which is in this other person. And when we're in a new life, we will experience each other again in this way, but differently. We will remember each other in every lifetime. You know how in Hancock, the movie in Hancock, and this is what I told him, the movie in Hancock where she's just like, we're brother and sister, and she's reminding him that in every lifetime they find each other. It's sort of similar to that in a way. And a lot of people fantasize over this journey and say, oh, I think I've met my twin flame, and it doesn't work that way. And a lot of people that are on this journey, they don't want to be on the journey. They don't want their twin flame. It's a love and hate relationship with the twin flame journey. Some people have it like that. Some people feel like that. And when you realize how difficult it is, you go like, oh, fuck no. Oh, hell no. Bitch, no ma'am. No. But after I realized that this journey, I was meant to awaken. I awakened because of this person. Like, this person had the same soul as I did. I was just like, oh, I can only be with this person. I gotta make it work with this person. And it's meant for you to align with your soul, your higher self, your God-like source energy within you. And this helps you to guide other beings in the world. Like, the journey helps you. So when I realized that I had a partner in the 3D who was like my soul partner, and everything that God reflects me is also reflected to them in a way. And when I awakened to that, I said, oh, what's the point of being with my ex-fiance, and many of y'all know his name. I was going to say his name, which again, I can say his name as, you know, um, they said it's okay. Many people that saw me with Nico and knew that there was so much love in that experience, they wondered what happened. And the truth is that I, for one, awakened to that journey. And for two, I thought and realized that there was healing that needed to be done on in both of our lives. He had to heal from certain experiences that happened in his life. I had to heal from certain experiences that I experienced, or not, well, after I did. But I think that I had to align with the higher version of myself, with a not like that type of high, but a higher divine being of myself I had to align with. And when I realized that, it was kind of like my higher self was pulling me away from that experience. Anytime I lit sage and stuff like that, or Palo Santos, Nico was like, "Oh, that shit stank." You know what I'm saying? Like, I just realized that. And also, I want to say this. I began to realize that I was very sensitive about how people judge me. And that was a part of my healing. Like, I realized that you can't control the way people perceive you. Like, people gonna say what they want to. People, my mom used to say this one thing, and it didn't make sense until I truly like awakened. People gonna talk about you whether you do good or bad in life. And sometimes it could be the person that tell you that. Like, even my mom was just like, "Your ass ain't psychic. You don't know what you're talking about." Like, you realize that there are people in the experience of life that are meant to play the bad guy. Sometimes they only have a scene. They only have a scene that they play the bad guy. But you have positive energy and negative energy. And that's what creates the balance. And for a while, I heard enlightenment. Knowing oneself is enlightenment. I realized that everybody isn't meant to. It is. They say, "Oh, love and light," but it's not always love and light. Some people are in need of healing, and as an enlightened being, knowing oneself, the beings that aren't enlightened are sometimes around so they can be enlightened by you. And my cousin, who owns a shop in Newberry, she was an enlightened being that had been on the journey for 4 years prior to my awakening. And being around her helped boost my it pushed me further into my journey faster. And because I was so determined with understanding the journey, that also boosted me, or yeah, boosted me higher into alignment with my higher self. But I, at some point, got involved with spiritual ego. And spiritual ego can come across as you thinking that you know it. You thinking you know every goddamn. What's that Monique video? Since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing. Anyway, I realized that there was a pattern within this journey of life. For example, I realized that words are very powerful. The words that we use can manifest certain experiences. Like, for example, and I've used this before, but Red Fox, who played on Sanford and Son, he acted out, he played the character, and the character would fake a heart attack. And then, do you know what Red Fox died from? And a lot of people would just look at it like, oh, like, like, oh, whatever. But manifestation is something true. It's something true. And what also had a part in me becoming silent is that I received a message that there was going to be a family member that was going to pass, that was going to pass on. And the message came as not a specific person, but just a relative. It was like it just was like great aunt. I have 5 great aunts, but at that time, there was I want to say 3. Yeah, because my aunt Bessie and Aunt Frances, they had both passed on already. And so when this message came through as a great aunt, I was thinking, oh my goodness, it's going to be, I thought it was going to be the great aunt that I lived with, because they are all, they were all getting up in age. And so when I received this message, and then my mom and, other family members not really knowing if I was for sure psychic. When I told my cousin, and I shared the message with him. And he also saw that I was a medium. He saw it happen in real life. And so there weren't many other family members that seen it happen the way that he did. And so anyway, when I told him that, I think it was just like, oh, all right. But I'm also a medium that can receive information far ahead of time. Like that message was 3 years before it actually took place. And I've had other predictions that happened kind of sort of in the same way. Like on my TikTok, I predicted that Beyonce was going to deliver another album. And then 16 Carriages came out. I predicted that Jhené Aiko was going to release a song. Or not a song, but I said that Jhené Aiko was going to release a project. And I said it probably wasn't going to be around the time that... It was actually like a year before it came out. Like I said, I released that message a year prior. And I said, oh, this doesn't seem like something that's going to happen soon. It's something that's going to happen like maybe next year or a couple months later. And anyway, she then released a project. There were other things that I also said. But yeah, when I received that message, it kind of triggered me to become silent, because I was wanting to save people. I was wanting to save those family members. Death is something that's going to happen. It can't be stopped. If it is meant to happen, you have to allow the natural flow of things. And often, I realize that when you intervene, you can be the cause of things. And so that was even like, oh my God, I don't want to be the cause of it. I didn't know if it was my great aunt. So I had to do healing mentally because of the thoughts that I was having. And then I also ran into the thoughts of unworthiness and worthiness because I was like, well, I don't have money, so how am I going to provide for myself? And then I was barely allowing people to help me, like with food and things like that. And because I was a vegan and it was Rona around, I was like, shit, I ain't trying to get that shit. So then I wasn't really eating that much, and then I became 138 pounds. All right. So I know I'm looking totally different in the scene of the video, but I had to film a video while I was filming this video, and so afterwards I was just like, you know what, it's time to rub a dub dub in the tub, handle my grown folks' business, and then now we back, and so I have some cookies, some baked cookies that I actually baked, and some more chicken tenders, and I'm going to try to speed up through this stuff. Now I know I spoke about staying with a friend, and that was in the year of 2020, and then the eviction happened, but I was still communicating then, so I don't want to really speak on that, because then I was also speaking about, I received the message that there was going to be a family member that passed, and it was 3 years before that message actually came into fruition. And then I told my cousin, I said, death happens in threes sometimes. Well, there's that saying, death happens in threes. And I knew that I wasn't saying it for nothing. And so I had a great aunt that passed in the year of 2023. And then I had a cousin that passed in 2024. And so, hopefully, I have a great uncle that isn't doing as great, but he is doing kind of better, actually. So, I actually heard of a family member. There was another family member that passed. So, anyway, speaking about that, because I was staying with a great aunt, I started kind of just watching what she was doing, and also I became very health conscious. I became obsessed with being a vegan, which most of you knew. But then, okay, yeah, let's stick with that. I became obsessed with being a vegan, but I also became obsessed with all of the signs that I was receiving from the divine, and really studying spiritualism, and it was just a deep dive. And because I had all of this knowledge that I was receiving, and after my friend and I separated, I went and stayed with my twin flame for a while, but it really wasn't staying with him. It was more staying at his mom's house and getting to know his mom, really, because he wasn't there. And because I expressed that I had feelings towards him and he rejected the idea of us being twin flames, it pretty much was as if that was kind of like where our relationship kind of started to part. That was like the start of twin flame separation, even though we were kind of still close. So anyway, I ended up moving back to my hometown in South Carolina, and that's when I started. I did a reading for my great aunt and my grandmother, and within the reading, I saw the death card, which the death card in tarot can represent addictive patterns and things like that. But this is more of like showing me like someone was going to pass. And it really won't ever be like that unless it's like a fact. But at the time, I had just started developing my gift, my clairvoyance, which is being able to see, and my claircognizance, which is the knowing, the brain, and connecting to the divine. And so when I also received an angel number that let me know that someone was going to pass, I was kind of like in denial, like maybe I'm just tripping. Like, I receive a lot of angel numbers. Maybe this is just like another one of those things where I'm receiving a lot of angel numbers, and maybe this is just like one that's just like, I just received it, but maybe or maybe not. And so I was receiving so much information. And after a while, when I started noticing that I have family members that are getting older, they're getting closer to, you know, their late 70s and things like that, it kind of started to, I started thinking about, well, I was already thinking about health because for you that do not know, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease in the year of 2013. So that was a big reason of me going vegan. And I've spoken about HPV, which is genital warts. I've spoken about that on my old channel, but I'm speaking about it again here because I want people to know that it is curable. It can be cured in 2 years. And so with that, I needed time to really heal from just things mentally that I was, well, not even like mentally, because I understood what was happening. I understood what was going on, but I think that the grief of knowing that there was going to be a family member that passed and not knowing who it was and wanting to stop, or wanting to stop the person, like wanting to stop the person from passing on, which it is a natural thing to happen. I was having difficulty understanding how to operate knowing that that was going to happen. So it was kind of difficult for me to, just know that it was going to happen, and people saying like, "Oh, you're not a psychic. You don't know what you're talking about." And then when it happened, it just happened 3 years later. But anyway, I mean, well, I told my cousin that it was going to happen. So anyway, and he told some people. So anyways, y'all. So there was that. My twin flame and I weren't really communicating, and after I opened up about my feelings towards him, then he got a girlfriend. But it was like the years that we had been friends, he never like really had a girlfriend. So that was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of like the turning of tables. I ended my relationship, my like 5 year relationship with Nico, and then he then was in a relationship. So it's kind of like the turning of tables. So he's learning the things and I'm learning the things as a single person. And so anyway, I want to say it's exactly like that, but kinda. And so anyway, knowing these things and experiencing these things, and also understanding what it meant to be still. Now, this is the big part of why I became kind of like not mute. I wouldn't call it mute because I'm going to explain it. I'm going to explain stillness. Remember that. All right, this is what stillness means to me now. Stillness means to me now. Stillness represents being able to be present and realize that the only thing that exists in the moment is what is happening now. What's happening now? I'm filming this video for you guys. So past experiences aren't present, future experiences aren't present. And it's also like meaning like stillness of the mind. Like stillness of the mind, not like there aren't any thoughts. Stillness. Finding that stillness, finding that home, that calm within yourself. That's just kind of a brief explanation. A couple years back, my idea of stillness was forced. I was forcing myself to not have thoughts. I was forcing myself to be hyper focused to what people were saying. And a lot of times, people would project things, and I would allow it because I thought that allowing it meant that I was being still. But I wasn't allowing myself to experience life in a way. But at the same time, that experience also helped me to elevate very fast. So, also like my reason for being vegan, and I have to touch back on that for a little bit, is for the reason that Rona was around. And so I was like, I was doing a lot of studying of Dr. Sebi. And that's why I brought up HPV, because Dr. Sebi speaks about the more alkaline the body is, the faster it can heal on its own. Maybe he didn't say that verbatim, but I received that knowledge through his teachings. So the more alkaline the body is, the faster it can heal on its own. So I became vegan. Then I started incorporating processed vegan foods. And so that journey within itself, noticing how I had, I guess you can say more spiritual control. Like, not even spiritual control, but there was just this more healthier feeling. And I was doing a lot of fasting, which Dr. Sebi speaks about, fasting for 90 days and then focusing on the part of the body that needs healing. And I'm pretty sure that experience of Dr. Sebi has changed. Now, he has a village called Usha Village, which is in Honduras. Anyway, I noticed that even, I can say this, when my great aunt, I rode with her to work, and I was going to drive the vehicle back to the house. They took her temperature, then took mine, and they said, "Wow, your temperature is like lower than like," it was like really, it was like the lowest perfect temperature, I guess you can say. Like it was the lowest normal temperature That's what I can say. It was like the lowest normal temperature. And I was doing a lot of meditating, I was doing a lot of fasting, and so my connection to the divine was very strong. And it is very strong now. But then I the constant my constant meditating and fasting, it started to get obsessive in a way. But anyway, knowing that I was researching all this information, I was researching the information, but I wasn't allowing myself to experience the information. So the things that I was teaching people was just verbatim from like what I was reading. It's just like when people read from the Bible, they say, "Oh, this is this. The Bible says this. The Bible says that." But when people haven't experienced anything from the text that they read, it's kind of like invalid in a way. And so I realized that through the experience of awakening. Anyway, child, there was a significant lesson that I learned while I was, I think, helping a family member, and I realized that, and it was tied to like my fear of allowing people, like allowing death, like allowing people to die. And I want to say this. It took what it took for me to get to a place of acceptance of death is I kind of had to kind of think that, oh, they're already dead, like fuck them, like it's going to happen, like everybody's, there's nothing I can do about it. So everybody it is what it is. If you've ever watched The Vampire Diaries, there's this thing that they call is flipping their humanity switch, where they kind of just, they're non-caring, they're kind of just like living life, they don't have they're not humane, they're not humanely existing, they're just kind of like, they bite people that suck their blood and kill them. These vampires do in this show called The Vampire Diaries. They flip their humanity switch and they just don't care. They will kill whoever. It's like they don't care about their family and stuff like that. And for me, it was kind of like I kind of just had to be like, with everybody, my mom, my family. And so a lot of people, when they would see me, they would be like, "Hey, Kevin," and I would just be like, "Okay, you're saying hey. Where's the rest of the conversation?" Like, that's just how I was. And I know that for a lot of people on the receiving end of that, it was very difficult for them to experience me that way. But also it was difficult for me hearing how people were perceiving me in that way, and knowing that I couldn't just completely go back into old habits. I couldn't go back into my heavy drinking and heavy marijuana smoking or Mary Jane smoking, because I had quit smoking and drinking alcohol in the year of 2020. And then I recently just started back drinking liquor. I recently started back drinking because now I'm in a place where I can be present and consume things like that. But at that time, when I remember my friend's mom, Leanne, hey, if you're watching this video, hello, love you. Hope that we're in a forgiving energy. I walked past her because I was having just a morning where I was just feeling a lot of energy. When you're a medium, you can experience energies from anywhere in the world because energy knows no boundaries. And so I was going on a walk and I said, I'm going to just go to Walmart and go get some groceries or whatever, or something I was going to go get. And Leanne started calling my name. Leanne called my name about twice, and then I stopped. And I was like, because when I walked past, I was just like, is that his mom? And I didn't really know because I wasn't really like looking in that way, but I saw that it was her, kind of, but I knew her name, I knew her voice for sure. And so when I stopped, and then when I turned around, and because I stopped and I was there for a little minute, and then when I turned around, she was gone. She had drove off, but she knew it was me. And the reason that I was also in that space with people is because my idea of being helped by people, like I didn't allow people to help me because I thought the universe is the only thing that can help me. When you're on a spiritual journey, you only have yourself. And a lot of people will tell you that are on this journey, they will say, oh, I'm about to turn off this speaker. It's about to make a noise. Hold on. A lot of people that are on this spiritual journey will tell you it's a lonely journey. But I was in a place of like, I can do it. I can do this. I'm not going to ask for help. Like, people are, of course, people from my hometown will say, Kevin, I can help you, what, do you need anything and things like that. But it's kind of like I wasn't in a place of allowing people to help me in that moment. So anyway, I was like that with everyone. Like I just recently told my dad that the reason that for my weight loss, how I lost so much weight is because if I didn't have family members that would bring me money or buy food, I just didn't eat. And so that was a large lump sum of the reason of why I had lost so much weight, because I wasn't being dependent on people, because I was being told, go get a job, go get money. But I was also becoming aware that I was a medium and I was receiving the gift of clairaudience and clairvoyance and claircognizance, all these gifts to connect with the divine. So I wasn't allowing people to help me because most of the people were saying, go get a job. So it was, some people were pulling me back some people were wanting me to go back into the direction of my old self, but I had departed from my old self and coming into alignment with my new self. So, girl, it was just, girl. And, of course, jail had a big play on my silence, I guess. But if you want to know my charges, and the reason I'm being open about this is because, you know how people say, Google me, bitch. If you Google me, that's going to pop up. It's going to show up. So, if you were really looking for me, then I'm pretty sure you seen the mug shots, bitch. You seen them. It wasn't a pretty sight, for real. But anyway, one was for trespassing. The other one was for vehicle, like selling a vehicle, possession of stolen vehicle. Anyway, miscommunication with my mom, took her vehicle. Not miscommunication, lack of communication. Stole her vehicle, even though in my mind I wasn't selling it, it was selling it. And so 4 months the in jail in the year of 2021, and in the year of 2020 it was trespassing because I sat on a bench in prosperity, because I was in a place of, you know what, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make it back to Colombia, and just start a life with my twin flame. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. And so it just wasn't time. And so I also think that going to jail was Spirit's way of saying, no, you can't go to Colombia with this person. So anyway, y'all, it was a lot of signs saying like, no. When God don't want you to do something, he will make it clear. And he made it clear that night. I meant to say this because it's important. You know, a lot of people say, what type of, you have, a lot of people say, oh, I had a spiritual awakening. You can have many spiritual awakenings. To help you realize that what you're experiencing is valid. And the thing that makes it difficult is because there are people that are going to invalidate your experience, while there are going to be people that truly understand and are going to validate your experience. It's light and dark. It is positive energy, negative energy. Like, there's going to be people that understand. There are going to be people that don't. There are going to be people that think you're crazy. There are going to be people that think you're batshit crazy. And there are going to be people that say, oh, you're very awakened. You're very enlightened. I understand. And so when you're doing it, you're pretty much on your own. Spirit has its own designated experiences. Experiences for each of us. We have wrote these experiences before we have chosen to be human. Now, anyways, long story short, I realized that long story short, I was in a place of nonverbal communication because I realized I had a twin flame, and I was going against divine timing and trying to make it work, and it was failing because it wasn't in divine timing. And I had to realize that the purpose of that journey was to align me with the God source energy within. I didn't want to be a burden, but to some people they called me a burden, so that didn't make me feel any better. But I had to align with what was the now moment. And that just meant it is what it is. The experience of what is it is. And that doesn't mean that I have all my shit together. But when you go with the flow of things, it is, it just is what it is. So anyway, I'm not going to hold you guys up so much more. There's probably so much more that I can say. But again, there are so many videos that are on this channel. And again, I'm in a place now when I am in a place now, ooh, Jesus, where I'm communicating and understanding that this is true for me. However you experience me, that is true for you. And I'm not going to intentionally invalidate you. And if I do, apologies, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't. I've done healing enough to be where I am now, mentally, physically, spiritually. And with that being said, if you'd like to have a conversation about it, a deeper conversation about it, maybe we could talk. It makes me feel so nice. You're my water when I'm stuck in the desert. You're the Tylenol I take when my head hurts. You're the sunshine of my life. I just wanna see how